D. Mark Lozano once again.
How's it going, man?
I'm doing good, bro. Let me ask you right off the bat, dude. I mean, of course, I'm in San Antonio. You know, you grew up here. How's the weather where you're at right now?
Well, it's like 10 a.m. or it's gonna be 10 a.m. soon. It's over 100 degrees so far already. So, yeah.
So, you guys are worst off, man. I was gonna say, I mean, you're from Texas, dude. I mean, you know that Texas heat, but doesn't compare to where you're at, right?
Well, it's a quote unquote dry heat. It's still it's hotter here, but it's more humid over there. They're both pretty brutal. So.
No. And for those watching, of course, where are you at these days?
I'm over in Phoenix, Arizona now.
My man, and of course, I wanted a few things. You know, you got a fight coming up. You captured a title a few weeks back, man, and of course, there you go, man. That's it, bro. So congratulations once again, man, on that.
Yeah, I just won a national title in Muay Thai. So something I never thought I'd hear myself say that. It's still pretty surreal, but it happened, But I didn't do it alone, that's for sure.
No, definitely, man. And of course, you say that because I mean, when the story goes, you started here as a kid, of course, at a young age, and me covering the event. This is like 10 years ago,
yeah.
And you being a grappler, going from jiu-jitsu into wrestling, and of course now, mixed martial artist, man. But to say you actually captured the title in Muay Thai says a lot. Says you're still growing. The sport's still adding tools to your game.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, how does it feel, man? I mean, are you still kind of like, maybe want to stack up another one soon?
Yeah, I actually the next national title national tournament will be between like late September and early October, and I'll be in Phoenix again, and I'll be doing that one. I might do the A class this time, depending on how many fights I get. So I'll have a fight on July 9th, which will add up, and then if I get one more in, I'll be qualified for the A class, which is the 10 fights plus. Because right now I have 7 fights,
right?
With MMA and Muay Thai. And I would like to do the A class though, because there will be some quality experience guys with a lot of solid striking credentials and striking experience, and to get that kind of competition under my belt, at 24 years old, before going into the pros is it'll be huge for me, and that's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I'm looking to get.
No, man. I mean, no doubt. I mean, of course, you're out to testing yourself, dude. I mean, every opportunity you get, the experience once you go pro, it's gonna be surreal, man. Because of course you got time, But I mean, when it comes to the fight game, of course, like you said, you got 7 fights combined, and I mean, as far as going pro, I mean, what are you looking at? Another year, 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, something like that would make some sense. I mean, the thing is that so many amateurs, like I've had coaches talk to me about this. Like, I've had so many guys. There's so many guys that will rush going into the pros and they fight for pennies. There's those guys that will, they'll win a couple fights or they'll have a few fights, whatever, and then they're fighting for some regular promotion. They'll fight for some like regional promotion. They're making like $500 or $300 to show, and it's just like. There's a much better way to do that. I have a teammate who is currently, I mean, he made his pro debut with Bellator, and he made like far more than that, plus sponsorship money right off the bat. So, and that's what I want to do. I want to make my pro debut with Bellator and make solid money right off the bat, and go right into the bigger shows, into the bigger fights as well, and make better money. And that's what I will do.
Yeah, you see, and that's a smart way to plan it, man. Because of course, I mean, you just start training, go pro, and like you said, you're gonna fight, for promotions, 250, 500 if you win. I mean, that's not even that doesn't even cover your credentials, right? I mean, as far as your medical and everything else.
Yeah, and you have to, like, a lot of that goes to like coaching and goes to other people, so you barely get anything at all, if anything. So
definitely, man. I mean, I've been in the fight game for years, man, and I know I've seen the horror stories. Guys fighting for 150. I mean, some fighting. I think here in Texas, somebody fought for like $20, bro, because they didn't sell tickets, and it's horrible. Who the hell does that, right? But yeah, man, you definitely have a plan, and of course, man, this fight coming up, it is going to be there you go, a little noise reduction, man. But you are going to be fighting on July 9th. I mean, this is happening, of course, in your hometown, man. I mean, where you're at right now, K Series. And I mean, on this one, bro, it is going to be for a title. So I mean, pressure? Do you have any pressure? Or are you more excited about it?
For me, it's just another fight. I mean, yeah, there is like there's it's bigger, there's more promotion, there's more hype behind it, but like the way I see it is this, like, does anything really change? Yeah, you get a shiny belt at the end of it when you win, but like at the end of the day, you're still fighting somebody, right? I don't know. It's just why make it harder than it needs to be? Why make it more scary than it needs to be already? You're already going in there with just some gloves and fighting a guy. I'm fighting another undefeated guy. Big surprise, But everybody I fought's been undefeated. That's an interesting stat about me. So every single time I've won a fight, like I've had to find a way to beat that person that's never been beaten before, and nothing's changed this time around. But to me, I feel like that's almost like a compliment. If that doesn't say I'm doing something right, nothing. I don't know what does.
No, I mean for sure, man. Because I can't remember exactly who it was. It was in the UFC, and it was one of the title holders. I don't know if it was George St. Pierre, but he was talking about like every time he fights, even though he was a champion, that he was fighting like he didn't have the belt, because then again, himself to somebody new, and it kind of eased off the pressure, and he was just like, hey, we're fighting for the belt all over again, man. And I mean, that's
at the end of the day, I think that's a great approach. Like, I'm not looking at it like that. Like, it is like I mean, it's just something. The way I see it, it's like you go into a tournament and you get the gold medal at the end. You're still competing. You're still. I don't know. Why make it harder than it needs to be? It's already a pretty like hard thing you're going into, especially all the build up and everything. Why make it harder than it needs to by putting that additional like propaganda on you, essentially? So I'm not thinking about that at all. I'm just thinking about being at my best, and I mean that's what I will do. I'm so excited to just show not only like what I've I've obviously grown a lot since my last MMA fight, but also I mean there's so many things I was doing that were just not. I mean I was still doing well in the fights, but just like I'm a completely different level now. I can't wait to show that, and people will see.
No, I mean, I'm excited to watch you fight, man. I mean, on this one, of course, it is going to be. Is it going to be on pay-per-view? Do you know? I'm looking at the flyer.
I'm not entirely sure. I know that the event's going to be in Tucson, Arizona, and I know that to be honest, there probably will be. It'll probably be like either a Cage Series link or a Rise of the Prospects link. So it'll be something like that. And it'll probably be like maybe like a $40 thing or something like that. And I'll be the co-main event of the event.
No, for sure, man. Now let me ask you, because you are the co-main event. I mean, does it suck that you have to sit there and wait for everybody else to fight?
No? My last fight was the co-main event, and then I fought because that was my fifth amateur fight. My third amateur fight, I was a co-main event too. So I mean, it's not something I'm not. It's not something I'm not used to. Even like in wrestling, I was one of the bigger guys, so I would have to kind of wait until they go by weight class for the finals matches. They start off at 106 and they go all the way up to heavyweight. And I'd be one of the later matches anyway. I'm used to that. So, I mean, plus I think it adds more prestige, adds more it adds more epicness, so to speak, to the event, which is I mean that's always a plus because that's what I want to be a part of.
No, for sure, man. And training, man, how's everything going? I mean, have you been training since they give you the fight, or were you already training before?
I'm always training. I mean, after nationals, I took a week off. I always like to take like 1 week off and then go right back into it. So that way, like, I don't have to completely kill myself and completely potentially injure myself as well. Going into a fight again. And plus, I mean, I just love to train. This is what I love to do. I love to fight. I love to better myself and what I've loved since I was 10. So why wouldn't I? I don't know. I feel like if I wouldn't be doing that, I'd be wasting time.
No, do that. You're enjoying it. That's always a plus. The best quotes that I've ever heard is, enjoy what you do and you'll never work a day in your life, man. And that's the way I see life now. If I'm not enjoying it, I ain't doing it. So, for sure. I mean, I'm out here working, but I'm having fun, dude. I mean, the heat's, killing me. It's not as bad right now, but I enjoy being out here, man. Of course, I'm trying to even out this blue collar tan I got going on. So we'll see how that goes.
I got one of those too, man. I'm out here I don't work today, but I work like 10-hour plus days outside. Like, it gets up to like 113 degrees outside. I have to put on like one of those neck things that go up to my face and covers my, all that. I wear a hat and everything. I mean, it's pretty brutal out there, but I mean, hard times create strong men, just like the book I was showing you the last time we talked.
Yes, sir. And then, man, that's actually, I've been reading up scriptures. I've been reading up, good points, not just from that book, but just in general. I've actually been like, what? I mean, I got to keep myself motivated, and that's one of the ways, I've been doing it. So I thank you for that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it, of course.
And let me ask you, bro, training. I mean, you won a Muay Thai, title. I mean, are you still adding to that? Are you working more on your grappling? Are you?
I will say that there's a little bit of a transition going from Muay Thai, specifically going back to MMA. Like, for example, just even there's a lot more head movement in MMA because it's a lot more boxing-based sport. There's a lot more punching involved. So the stance is different. For example, I was doing exclusively boxing sparring on Fridays, what we have over at Dan's gym, and we go and he'll corner off, like there'll be a ring, and he'll put it off like we're in the big there's like it'd be me and a partner, and we have like a corner of the ring, so we can't really run around. We have to stay in there essentially. Yeah, and I was going. We have two athletes who are preparing for the Olympic Games for Muay Thai. It'll be the first time Muay Thai is ever in the Olympics, and one of the athletes, I was going more rounds with him than anybody else was. So that's, I mean, it says a lot about who I'm training with anyway. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But what's
some good experience. No, that's some good experience, man. Definitely.
Oh, yeah. Jordan Weiland. I mean, and it's not just him competing as well, but I mean, I was going more rounds with him than anybody else, and we'll probably get plenty of rounds in because he's fighting so it'll be me. I'll be fighting on July 9th, and then the Olympic Games will be taking place in Birmingham, Alabama on July 12th. So okay. I mean, we're all in there together. It's a special time, that's for sure.
Oh, I mean, man, ever since the world finally opened back up and, COVID's,
just disappeared because we got a Ukraine garbage thing going on. It's just disappeared. It's just conveniently.
Put it aside. It'll pop up once the other thing clears up, and we know the game. The government, bro. But
we've talked about this.
Oh yeah, but yeah, man. But you know what? Now that promotions are popping up left and right here in San Antonio, bro, we've got like 3 more promotions popping up, an amateur and pro. So it's getting exciting. Or just in Texas, should I say? There's more platforms for fighters. I mean, for the longest time, it was just Fury FC. Here in Texas, XKO, and now we've got like 2 more pro. So it's a good time, man. I mean. Yeah. Years back when you were actually on the mat, grappling and doing jiu-jitsu tournaments, MMA was getting a good buzz, and there was a lot of excitement, and it's starting to feel like that again. So it makes me excited.
Like the Cowboy Series events and stuff like that. Those like the Legacy would come here a decent amount and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, sorry.
They're heading here. Is it Legacy that's going back to Arizona?
Well, it's LFA now, but yeah, I think LFA is. I think LFA is going to July. I think it's coming here in July. But in fact, I have a funny story. There was a guy that I was supposed to be fighting about 2 years, like when COVID hit, March of 2020. Oddly enough, I was supposed to fight this guy, and it was supposed to be for LFA in Phoenix. Yeah. And the fight ended up getting canceled entirely. He was a tough guy. His name is Terry Lyles. And he's actually one of the guys I actually got to work with a couple of days ago because I'm fighting a wrestler. And this guy's got some solid wrestling, and he's a solid fighter in his own right. And it was really cool. He's a really good guy. And it's like one of those things where it's like the guard's down, and you just kind of like, oh, hey, by the way, this and that. It was really good. I remember one time, I'm not going to get too much into that, but it was really cool. And he was asking me if I was fighting on the LFA card like in July, and I was like, no, I'm going to be doing this title fight for a cage series instead. But it was really cool, and he's a good guy to work with. I'm glad I got to work with him the other day, and probably get to work with him a few more times before the fight actually happens. So.
No, yeah, man. And when LFA posted they were going back to Arizona, I thought of you. I said, oh man, that would have been sweet. But I already knew you had that fight coming up for the title, so of course, you're gonna go and get another strap, and then keep stacking up that experience, man.
Yeah, and it'll be good for the more titles and the more kind of like victories I have like this. It's gonna build my contract up for when I go pro, and build my contract up for, or not even build my contract, but just help me get some marketability on like potential for me, and for sponsorship opportunities and stuff like that, which would be really good because some of these guys, I mean, they make some solid money, make just from sponsorships alone, and that's, I would argue that's probably the best way to go about it because that goes exclusively to you rather than going to coaches and stuff like that. So
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you see, and that's, I mean, I'm right there with you, man. So hopefully, once that you make that step and that transition, I mean, I always got your back, so I'll help you and try to bring people towards you, to help
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Um,
I always try to make your interviews exciting too, or do my best anyway. Because I look at the views, I'll look at your YouTube, look at like the views on YouTube, or even like stuff like that. I notice that my views are normally on the higher end compared to some of the others, and I want to do my part anyway of making that, continuing that trend and making and growing your channel as well. So.
No, for sure, and I appreciate that, man. Believe me, I mean, that's one of the things I've been noticing a lot lately, and I'm always going back and checking the statistics and the ratings, the marks, and I'm just like, okay, you know what? I mean, there's things that I want to do myself that I'll say this: there's a lot of pages out there that I see, and I see them getting tons of hits, and and I'm thinking, man, but a lot of the stuff that they share is other people's stuff. So there's
Yeah.
no reality, there's nothing coming from them directly. So I'm like, you know what? I mean, I'm I'm that guy. I'm the one that's producing my own interviews, doing my own write-ups, doing my own, it's not the best, but it is mine. So I'm like, you know what? Even if it gets 20 hits, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Of course I want more, but yeah, man, it's
No
just I see
problem.
pages and a lot of them are being bought and they're just, so I'm not worried about it. I'm having fun with this, and as long as I get people like you to jump on this, I'm happy, man.
Anything worthwhile is going to be kind of like the long road's going to be necessary for anything worthwhile. Anything like a quick buck is not going to. I mean, you can do that, but it's not. I mean, is it really worthwhile? I don't think that it really is. It's not. It's not. You're not really like. There's nothing really long lasting there, the way I see it. So.
No, sure, man, and that's why I'm like, you know what, one of the things I've been doing a lot lately is like all these people that have all these followers, man. I go through their friends and I see a lot of bots, so they're
Yeah,
buying,
100%.
and I'm like, okay, well, because I see
Yeah,
that, I'm like, dude, they're not that interesting, but then I'm not trying to hate, but I'm looking and I look at their friends list and I'm like, okay, it's a bunch of bots on there, and it's just. I'm okay with having a couple hundred, it's good as long as it's real people and they're actually reacting, and I'm all for it, man. But bro, this is about you, man. So what's next after this title? I mean, are you looking to stay busy this year?
always. Yeah, I mean, this will be my third fight in a span of half a year, but it's the most active I've been throughout my entire career, which is perfect. Um, Not looking past Barry. He's a tough guy. He's a 4-0 undefeated wrestler guy from Tucson. He's a tough guy. Not on my level by any means. I'm younger than him. I'm faster than him. This will be his first time fighting at 170, and he'll realize that, I think right away he'll realize that these 170s are a little faster. And we're a little bit more athletic and a little more technical than those middleweights. His middleweight, no offense, but it's a weaker division compared to 170 by a mile and a half. He's fought a bunch of guys that like either don't have any fights, or like his last opponent that he fought like about 2 weeks ago was like 0-1.
Yeah.
Like the last guy I fought is currently 5-0. The guy I fought before that is, he's a professional now, and before then he was 2 or 3-0. The guy before that was 2-0. I only fought one debuter, and then before that, my debut was against a guy who was 2-0. I've been fighting tough guys, and I've been making them. I've fought different styles and all sorts of things. And I've actually fought at 170. I don't think he's fought at 170 before. Like he's fought mostly at like catch weights and stuff like that. I'm not saying he's not battle tested, but compared to myself, he's not battle tested. I'm way more seasoned than him. I have more fights than him. I'm younger than him. I have more experience than him. I train with better guys than him. I have better coaches than him. I am expecting a tough fight, though. I'm expecting him to bring it. He comes forward, he swings, and he looks to wrestle. Pretty much, that's pretty much his style. He looks to get you against the cage, but that's great for me. I mean, I work with guys that can wrestle. That's for sure. Like I mean, Ryan Bader, CB Dalloway, anyone that trains with these types of guys. Even guys like Sullivan Collie, like these types of guys, like we all like Power MMA, like we can, like everybody there is a solid ass wrestler. In fact, I'm going to be doing a quote unquote open mat It's basically like a competition class for BJJ. We're gonna have like no AC on. We're all gonna have gis on. It's gyms from all over the valley in Phoenix, and some of the toughest guys in grappling that are around. And we're gonna get after it. It's gonna be about an hour and a half of just like hell, basically. And so I'm gonna be more than prepared. He's a tough guy though. I'm expecting him to bring it. It's a Tucson promotion, so they're gonna push the Tucson guys. It's just how it is. But like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be mine. That belt's mine. So
No, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, man, I'm definitely going to be looking up at their page after this, and there's a website link as far as pay-per-view or something. I'm going to add it, or I'm going to keep sharing it because I definitely want people to see this, the whole event. But definitely, looking for you getting that strap, man.
Yeah, no, it'll be. I was gonna say like I've wanted an amateur title fight since 2019. Since I won my third, I fought a guy named Nathaniel Blennerhassett, who's a 6. Nobody wanted to fight the guy. He's 6'6". He's a middleweight. I'm a welterweight. He had 2 finishes under his belt. He had a knockout and a submission. Nobody wanted to fight him. I fought him on a week notice, and I beat him in his hometown. His own coach was running the promotion for Valor. And ever since then, I was like, yo, I want a title fight. What the fuck? Like this will be perfect. And I've had a little bit of a journey since then. Obviously, COVID hit, and I knew I kind of needed, if I was going to get the push and the kind of the direction necessary that I wanted to go in for my career, I was going to have to move and get some more like expertise and just more and a place where there was more opportunity. And that's what I did. So that took some time to figure out and also to actually actualize. And then I was going to have the LFA fight in March of 2020. Obviously, we all know what happened in March of 2020. And then I had my first fight here in April of 2021. Fought a tough guy. I fought Maki Pitolo's brother, Alfonso Pitolo. Maki Pitolo's in the UFC, or was in the UFC, Hawaiian guy. And I fought his brother. And then I fought another really tough guy. He's 5-0 now. Went to a split decision with him. And I think I honestly just respected his wrestling too much because it was the first time for me finding a wrestler. And I threw like maybe 2 kicks. And kicks are some of my best weapons, especially if you saw some of the highlights on my USMTO reel, like you'll know. I mean, I was kicking the guy so hard he was falling. But anyway, but either way, I learned so much about myself in that fight. It was a fight where everything, I was on the bottom, I was on the top, I was punching, I was getting like it was like when Stipe Miocic fought Junior Dos Santos, and you get quote unquote the rub. It's where you fight everywhere. You really learn something about yourself, and people will see like I'm a completely different fighter than I was then, and I'm way better, and I'm just excited. Like I'm generally like wherever it goes, I got answers for it. We're on the feet, I got answers for it. We're on the ground, I got answers for it. Like I'm comfortable wherever it goes. Now I can genuinely say that. And sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean for sure. I mean you're definitely, you have a lot of skills, a lot of tools that you're going to be using, and I'm looking forward to it, man. I mean I really am. But bro, as far as sponsors, man, do you have anybody helping you for this fight?
Fight Socks. FightSocks.com.
There you go. And we'll definitely be on it, man. And I appreciate that. I know there's a lot more coming up as far as experience or people coming up, man. Who are some of the people helping you right now?
Jordan Weiland is someone I was talking about. He's about to do the Olympic Games for Muay Thai. I've been working with him a lot. Sullivan Colley's another guy. Obviously, guys like Ryan Bader, CB Dalloway, and even guys that are not like as well known like on the stage. Like they're still like younger guys, and they're putting the work every day. And I have solid people around me. I'm in the right place. I'm exactly where I need to be. So
no, for sure, man. And bro, I want to thank you for jumping on this, man. As far as training, I mean, of course, everything's great. Your weight, when it comes to fight week, are you going to be? How many pounds are you looking to drop for the fight?
I actually did. I was gonna bring that up. I kind of figured out like what I need to do as far as like how to really cut it. Drink like 3 gallons like probably a day before. And I'm gonna, and then obviously drop it after that and sweat a bunch out and everything. But I'll probably be like maybe 184, 185, kind of like the week up, maybe a little bit lighter than that, and then just mostly just like a water cut from there on out. So, but yeah, and then yeah.
Yeah, you see, and the water cut, of course. I mean, when you were wrestling, I mean, you were doing that religiously, right? I mean, you guys had to drop weight or drop for weight classes.
I did it all wrong back then. I'm not even trying to. I did it all wrong. I was eating the wrong stuff. I just kind of, thank God I was, just, I didn't have to work or do anything like that, I guess. I don't know. But I was doing it all wrong back then. I'm way more on top of it now than I was then. But yeah.
Oh no, it's just one of those experiences you have to do, right? So you can learn something, man. But that's good though,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My man, I thank you, bro. Thank you for coming on this. And as far as the fight, man, what can you tell us, man? What can people expect come fight night?
You're going to see a complete fighter. You're going to see a guy out there that is prepared. You're going to see a guy that's out there that's like, my time's come, essentially. I've put in the time. I've gone through the hoops of fire, so to speak. I've done all the things because I've wanted this for about 3 years now to fight for an amateur title, and now it's my time, and I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna shine.
No doubt, man. I believe that. But dude, I want to thank you, bro. Don't hang up yet. Of course, everybody out there, the Mark Lozano. This is Spider, the Fight Card Podcast. Till next time, follow up.